Well, today in history, we'll talk a little bit about slavery in U.S. So the slavery actually began from 1776 to 1865. Uh, yeah, around there. That was the period where the slavery of Africans or um, African Americans was predominant in the U.S. So we can say like USA map. No, no. Image USA map. Oh, no. Damn. Map USA. Here. Ah, oh, it's image. All right, here. So, yeah. But we can think of actually the colony days actually beginning 1526 was the beginning of slavery, but it was not so profitable. So here we have um, the 13 colonies, and sure they planted, but they had indentured servants, which were their own comrades. They had the people that lived there, so the slaves weren't so necessary. But then there was a big improvement in increase in the plantations in the south. In the north, they planted as like a family unit, but in the south, they wanted to mass produce it. So that's why we have here in the south, they are famous because of they were the last ones to abolish the slave. So around in that time came the Enlightenment ideas of the human rights, and so that made the northern parts want to abolish slavery. Also, there is a famous guy, he was a Christian, and he fought against slavery. And his name is, yeah, it was William Wilberforce, but that was in United Kingdom. But he was a Christian that fought against the the slavery, and he died before he could see the result of his hard work. But yeah, they won the won the about not the abolishment, but they abolished the slave trade. There were actually still slave, but there was no trade. It was a big step forward. Yeah, but now coming back where we were, all right. So they started a abolishment or a gradually decrease in slavery in the north. But in the south, they didn't want to do that because it was still very profitable for the southern states. By 1805, like every northern state had abolished slavery, some way, like not at all, but way less. I mean, in 1840, there were less than 100 people, 100 slaves. Well, but in the south, the cotton industry like expanded very fastly, very rapidly. So it increased the demand of labor. So they were back on the slaves. But in 1860, in 1860, the myth, Abraham Lincoln, he won the 1860 election, and he fought against slavery. And yeah, Abraham Lincoln is this guy here. He fought against slavery, and because of that, 7 southern states, they got together and made the Confederacy. And shortly after, April 12, 1861, the Civil War had begun because of an attack to the Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. And then 4 additional slave states joined in, and now you have the Confederacy against the Union. And we can talk about that in more details, but the spoiler is that the Union won. And with that sweet victory, that meant there were no more slaves, and the slaves actually helped in the war. And yet, I mean, there's many things here, but that's basically it. And so in December 6, 1865, it was prohibited, the slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crimes.